Hey guys, it's Julie from Minimize. Welcome to day 3 of my 12 days of fitness. Today we're going to be working on our shoulders. Shoulders are a big one. There's so many different options and so many different exercises that we can do for this. But basically, if you struggle with shoulder, upper back pain, neck pain, hopefully these exercises today will help you grease the wheels a little bit. Depending on what school that you're coming from, in terms of if you want to do yoga, if you want to do some strength training, if you want to do some corrective movement, if you want to do some neuro stuff, there's some really cool stuff that we can do just to open up the shoulders. I can just work on your visual drills and open your range of motion, and there's some really cool things. So I don't want to make this video an hour long for you. I just want to help you figure out what you can do. Just take some movement snacks, if you will, in the day that can help you release some of those tensions in your shoulders. But the first thing I need to talk about is that a lot of times with shoulder pain, the big reason you have shoulder pain is that people are very tight in their chest. So what we need to do is really open up. What happens, you have this rounded posture, this chest gets tight, you get tight up here, and then the shoulder is much harder to reach overhead when you're in when this muscle is short. So what we want to do is we want to try to open that up a little bit. So we're going to do one of my favorite foam roller stretches to open up the chest so that we can improve that range of motion. So the question is, what type of range of motion do you have? You can do a quick test of putting your back. You can actually lay down on the ground or put your back against the wall and bring your arms overhead. If your back arches, it means that you shouldn't be doing things overhead just yet. We need to gain some mobility back so that you can get there. So that's what essentially I want to do today, is just bring awareness. The second thing I want to talk about with shoulder issues is that if you actually take a look at what you're doing in your day, what are you doing in your day that's causing the shoulder to be forward or to be the chest to be tight? Are you on a mouse all day? Are you, I don't know, working up here? Are you painting? That sort of thing. So you have to think about, what are you doing in your everyday life? I want you to be mindful and think about mindful movements in terms of what are you doing on a regular basis that's causing the problem that you might have in that pain. Like for me, I swam a gazillion miles for about 20 years. I swam and my shoulders have actually become hypermobile. So my shoulders now, the problem is that they creak and crack and pop, all that type of stuff, because it's almost like, if you think of an elastic, they've overstretched. And so what I need to do is bring it in and really work on my scapular stability so that my shoulders can get to the range of motion that they should. So that's a big one for me. So that's where controlled articular rotations are really important for me. It's a non-negotiable on my day, because if I don't, then I will end up with lots of knots and trigger points in my upper back and my traps and underneath my shoulder blade, and then my chest gets all tight, and then next thing I know, I got a shooting headache shooting on my eyeball. So it's not fun. So the thing is that you have to be, if you've abused your body through sport, or just abuse your body from sitting at a desk for too long, these drills hopefully will help you just become more mindful. Okay, so that's really the key I want you to do, is become more mindful of the movements that you are doing on a day-to-day basis that are possibly leading to the problems that you're facing. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to work on is basically, it's just a shoulder circle straight up. So the key with this one though, a lot of people, you can just do a simple shoulder circle here, and all you're trying to do is round your shoulders back and forward. What I want you to work on though is that we can just go passively, just try to go up and down and just find the range of motion you have. So when I'm doing this right now, I got creaking, popping, all that type of stuff. But the key is that your joints want tension and they want stability. So in order to do that, we have to create tension in our body. So if you have something, you can make fists, or if you have something that you can squeeze, tennis balls, whatever, if you have those handy, you can squeeze them. But what I want you to do is think about creating tension in your whole body when you're doing this. So if I'm going sideways, so your shoulders should be able to go in 4 different motions, technically. So we go forward, up, back, and down. Okay, so sometimes the forward and up we're really good at because we're used to it, but the back and down, not so much. And that's what we want to focus on when we're doing this. Okay, so when we're doing this, we want to put the body under tension. Okay, so the key is, I want to not lock out my knees or anything, but grab onto the floor with my toes, keep my knees soft, brace my core so my rib cage stays down, my pelvis comes up. So I'm holding a nice brace. So I'm squeezing my belly button together, not in, but down and up together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on squeezing my shoulders forward. I'm going to come up as high as I can, bring my shoulders back and down, squeezing my shoulder blades down and or together, sorry, and then down. So we go forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. Then reverse it. We're going to go back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down. Lots of tension. So imagine I'm pulling on your arm as you're doing this. Okay. Awesome. So now let's try a shoulder circle. So our full shoulder circle. So we're going to do, I like to put tension in my body so I'm not twisting, because a lot of times people will do this. They'll go around and you'll see this rotation of their spine. I want to work on isolating my shoulders. So again, I'm going to put tension here. Again, I'm going to reach down towards the floor. I'm going to come across my body, find the range of motion, lots of tension here. Now I'm going to imagine like someone's I'm reaching up to the sky, up as high as I can, I'm going to turn my thumb down and try to get behind me as far as I can here, okay? So I'm going to go down, reach towards the floor, like I'm putting my hand in my pocket, and I'm going to reach, somebody's taking my arm away from me, up towards the ceiling. I'm reaching up to the ceiling, and then pull it down behind me without rotating my body. And we can reverse that. Go back, and then come forward. Again, leading my thumb goes up, and my thumb comes down. Cool? Let's try the other side. Reach, up. Let the shoulder go up and down. The more tension you have in your body, what will happen is that you'll notice that the creaking, cracking, popping, all that stuff will actually start calming down a little bit. So the more tension I have, I'm able to restrict my range of motion. And what we're going to do is we just keep working on this. So being consistent, again, that key consistency in movement is that we want to keep practicing this on a regular basis. All right, let's go over and I'm going to go over to my gym. I'm going to show you some other cool exercises we can do for your shoulders. The next move I want to try, you're going to need a bench for this one. If you don't have a bench, you can use a couch, an ottoman, anything like that. What we're going to do is we're going to work on opening up our shoulders. So if you have a stick, you can use one. If you don't, that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to hold the stick, bring our elbows in, and bring our hands a little bit wider of our shoulders or outside of our elbows, okay? So I'm going to hold myself here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop my head below the bench as best I can, keeping my back flat. I don't want to droop my lower back. I want to keep my tail tucked, and I'm going to drop down, inhale, exhale, and then come back up, okay? I'm going to pull down, inhale, exhale, and come back up. So what will happen sometimes is that you'll do this. So if I show you sideways or front ways, what will happen sometimes is that your elbows will want to come out here, and we're going to do this type of thing. You can do that. That might be your range of motion right now, but the idea is we want to try work on that external rotation of our shoulders. So again, remember that shoulder likes to be forward, so we want to work on external rotation and getting that shoulder to go back, and that's where that foam roller, we'll get to that one soon. So this one's a really good one to really open up the shoulders. You might be like, I have very limited range of motion. This one does make a big world of difference, but again, we want to create tension, make it passive active, keep this in nice, make a V with your hands, and then try to drop your head below, keep your tail tucked, rib cage down, that's important, okay? And then we're just going to try to reach down and feel the stretch on those outside of that shoulder, okay? Because that can be a sticky spot for a lot of people. All right, one of my favorite exercises we're going to do is the foam roller. So if you don't have a foam roller, just grab a towel, a beach towel, anything like that, and you can roll it up. If you can get it this wide, go ahead, go for it. If not, it's okay. What you're trying to do, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put my head up towards you, so you're going to lay down like so. I'm going to keep my rib cage down, and what I want to do is I just want to drag my fingertips over my head as best I can. Again, opening my chest, because we want to get that chest to open up to get the shoulder, trying to get that shoulder to rotate a little bit. So we just want to open the chest, give the shoulders a little bit of breathing room here. And so the key here is you can hang out. So you're going to hang out to your range of motion. When I'm on a roller, I can actually roll a little bit to the side here, to the side. And what will happen is I can actually expose a few of those trigger points underneath my shoulder blades. What we want to do is just hang out and breathe. Try not to lift your rib cage here. So we want to keep that down. So the side view to show you is if I'm here. Okay, so I don't want to arch my back. So I want to keep my back in neutral spine here. So rib cage down, pelvis towards me, posterior tilt, hands on the floor, and I'm going to go up as high as I can. If your hands are up here, that's okay. You're going to work on trying to get your shoulders down. Remember, I have good range of motion in my shoulders, but that's the problem is I have too much range. So what I want to do is I want to create some stability, some tension. So I can create tension in my body by flexing, or what I can do is grab some little weights if you have some. So I can grab some lighter weights, and what I'm going to do is just add the stability here to open up the chest a little bit more. So I can glide it, open that up. This is a really good one. You'll need a floor and a towel or a foam roller to do this one, but this one is a big one. If you want to improve your posture, this is a really, really good one, because again, that shoulder, a lot of times when those shoulders get creaky and crack because we're too tight here and they're not able to get into that extension that we need. And one last shoulder and movement snack that I have for called the prone swimmer. We can actually do it. You can actually do it standing up or like a tall position. I'm going to do it prone, facing down basically. What the key is, what we're going to do is we're going to create tension in our bodies against the floor, and then we're going to lift up away from the floor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide one hand behind my head and one behind my lower back, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of range of motion, possibly lots of cracking, popping, all that type of stuff. So what you're trying to work on is where does your hand up touching the back, the top of your head, the back of your head, can you get to the back of your neck? So what we're going to try to do is create tension to get that range of motion. So I'm facing the other way. What I'm looking for is that range of motion to get you into extension. Okay, so what it looks like, the exercise goes, forehead down, hands down, roll the shoulders back into my back pockets, pushing my hands down to the floor. I'm going to lift up. Then I'm going to try to keep my hands as high off the ground. Try to bring one hand behind my head, one up my lower back, and then I'm going to switch. Oh, I don't know if you heard that, but it popped. Lots of tension. Make sure you breathe. Tension in your whole body. 2. Oh yeah. 1 more each side. And 3. Good. Okay. So give those a shot. You can also do some shoulder, try to move your shoulders when I'm in this position. Like I said, there's so many options here, guys. I could do this all day, but the thing is, if you work on those shoulders, just doing some scapular cars, some shoulder circles with tension or shoulder cars, the external rotation on the bench, and then these prone swimmers, I guarantee your shoulders will feel a lot better. Even if you do pick one of those and do those every day for a week, and see how your shoulders feel, see if you can release some of that tension and stress that you're feeling in your neck and your shoulders, and hopefully that'll help you. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I'm Julie from Fitimize. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Really appreciate you being here. Stay tuned for day 4 for more movement snacks and movement ideas that you can do to become more mindful with your movement and help you move and groove better each and every day. I'm Julie, optimizing you one movement at a time.